What's up, crypto legends? The DXY needs to close at this area for me to believe that by next week we are going to start correcting aggressively. I'm going to explain this in today's episode. The last few days have been absolutely great. We've been predicting here that the Bitcoin price was going to create a higher low at the 29k level, test 30k. This is basically the breakout of structure that we talked about here for the last few days. As we were creating a higher high, we were likely going to create a higher low, having this massive run up long in this position, but also shorting right over here at this area of $30,000. This was mentioned in a Zoom call from the people that purchased the masterclass where you do have the modules. We were talking about this shorting scenario. Now, of course, your question is, Andy, what is the next levels? Is Bitcoin bearish? Well, of course, I am in a short position as well from this range, but what are the next levels? What are the next possible trading opportunities that we can take a look at, guys? Now, this is what you're going to find out in today's episode, so make sure to stay tuned. Hi there, Andy here. Welcome back to another episode of Bitcoinsensus. Guys, let's dive in here straight into the DXY because the DXY is not looking extremely great for the price of Bitcoin. If we start moving here, we're actually getting supported from lower high resistance of this descending wedge structure. However, if we do close beneath the highs created from the last few days, I do believe that it's likely that by next week we'll be getting that corrective move. If we close above today the highs from the last few days, it will not be looking great, guys. It does have a high chance that the DXY might be going to much higher levels. So for me, it is super important that today, Friday, of course, that we're not the DXY is not traded during the weekend. We need to have a close beneath the highs here from the last few days. It's already been trading here for just over a week at this range. We were very much predicting the consolidation that was going to happen. It is super important for the DXY to potentially today, it might have an attempt in breaking above this level, but to close above the highs created the last few days. All right, if we do get that wick today by the end of the day when the DXY closed the market, then we are going to see potentially a nice corrective wave in the next coming days by Monday. So we need to see that scenario, guys. Very important for the DXY to get that rejection from the highs. Something similar that did happen a few weeks ago, right? Where you're actually consolidating at a range here, as you can see, but you're attempting to break above the high, and then you get that corrective move finally, moving here to the downside. That was very good for Bitcoin. Same scenario right over here, right? Where it looks like it's going to be extremely bullish, where you have the DXY consolidating for a few days here. This was back in late June. You can see right there that test of the highs and then rejecting. Now, this is what I want to see on the DXY. We've got this high over here. If we are going to test it today, Friday, I want to see this by Monday getting that corrective move. If this does happen, guys, this means that we could be seeing a corrective move on the DXY by next week, and this will be bullish for Bitcoin, guys. So that is extremely important today. It looks like that we are going to test that level as I am recording this video. So let's take a look at the price of Bitcoin. What are the most important levels? What am I looking for here? Because we've been trading very nicely here the last few days. The long position here was an absolute succeed here from the $28,800 range. We also talked about a shorting scenario. This was with the Zoom masterclass people from the Legends community. Of course, we talked about that rejection here, back testing the swing failure pattern level and hitting the 618 Fibonacci retracement. I can explain that in this video right away. It's basically this scenario right over here. We talked about that this could be a good shorting opportunity. You're basically back testing the high of the failed breakout. Okay, simple as that. So let's zoom in here, okay, and talk about the levels. Is this enough volume for Bitcoin, okay, to go to much higher levels? What we need to understand is that the volume has been going extremely low here for the last few weeks, okay, inside of this downtrend. Now, as the price is creating higher highs and higher lows, yes, we've had a volume increase, as you can see here on the chart. Is this enough to have continuation to the upside? I'm going to let you know that definitely, yes, there is a possibility. But what are the strongest support levels here for Bitcoin? Yes, we are at support at this moment at the 29,400, but what is the strongest one if the price does drop? I'm going to go through that level now in just 1 second. I want to give a shout out to the K app because they are integrating very soon cash into their application, meaning that you can send crypto here for free. But not only that, they are integrating cash, dollars, euro, where you can send for free instantly to any of your contacts, guys. There is a debit card coming very soon. There's a lot of regulation behind this. Now, this will be coming soon, all right, probably in the next coming months. But of course, they are working very hard, guys. If you haven't got the K app, make sure to download down below in the description, totally free, and you can test it. Crypto has never been as easy to use and send nowadays with the K app, guys. Now, diving in here right away with the chart of Bitcoin. Now, taking a look at the scenario here of possible support. What is the strongest support level? Going straight to the point. Well, obviously for me, we would have to create a higher low, right? Higher high and higher low. We want a higher low. So the price cannot break beneath this $28,600 range, okay? So because if not, it will be very, very bearish. So is there a possibility here for a higher low? I'm going to say yes, of course there is. What is the most important level that I do see here available holding? Well, if we do take a look at the volume profile here, what we can see is that there is a nice spike here on volume. Now, the volume profile does provide us that high range, okay, of levels where we do have a high volume node, okay, where most of the volume has been traded from a zone, right? So right over here, we can see that beautiful slight touch right there where we did get a perfect rejection. That was at the highest volume node from the last couple of months. As you can see right over here, the highest volume node that we do have is at 29,170. Are we going to react? Are we going to create a low right there? Are we going to bounce? Are we going to try and break it again? We need to see something very similar to this price action or to this price action right over here, where you test a level, you bounce, and you test it again and you bounce. On the second test, you know that the bears are losing steam and this level will likely hold. So this is what you want to look at on the charts, okay, for those potential trading opportunities. Wait for a test because this could slice through. Maybe large amount of volume is going to break down here and then a lot of people will be long in here. The point of control from this range, right? Then, you know, Andy said this was a good level. I longed it. No, we need the reaction. The reason why I shorted here and some of the people of the masterclass shorted at this range is because we were patient. We waited for that level to be hit. And then, of course, a back test at this range with the rejection, because if you do take a look at the 5-minute time frame and we go here to this level, guys, we did not short exactly here as we were pumping above the level. As soon as you reject from the high here where you're back testing, as soon as you reject, you're not shorting here, you're shorting beneath the level and your stop loss is above the high. So we were waiting patiently. We hit the level, we back testing the level and we are rejecting. Soon as we reject, we jump into that shorting trade scenario, guys. Now, there's a lot of money shots here on the Legends trading community. We got Marcel getting into that trade, you know, because he was actually asking me in the Zoom call, hey, is this a good short? And I said, obviously, yes, you know it is a good short. This is why you're asking me. So, yeah, there's a really good vibe here with the Legends community. Make sure to join, guys. You got the link down below in the description if you wish to join the Legends community. We have a great community there. I post every single day. We got Sam posting scalping scenarios as well there also. Join there, guys. You got the best education and Bitcoin setups there that you can find anywhere. Now, let's dive in here straight into the levels again here on Bitcoin. So zooming out here, like I said, we need to hold this range, and the way we can test it, okay, well, the way we can trade it is bouncing on the level, okay, and creating a double bottom scenario, okay, or a swing failure pattern locally, okay? That is the best scenario. We're looking for this same thing, right? Where you have a bottom and you're testing it. You have a bottom and you're testing it. As soon as you recover, you know you got a great trading opportunity. So I want to see that level hold. With the dead cat bounce, I'm not interested in longing just yet. If we did get that secondary test, I am longing here as soon as the price gets above the low, guys. So just looking at the bearish reaction, yes, of course we do have support at this moment. The reason why we are supported from this level at the moment is because it is the value area high from the trading range that we've had for the last week. If you do take a look here at the value area high, which is this one right there, we can see that the price is managing to get some bounces. However, we are creating aggressive lower highs right there. I would stay extremely cautious. Make sure to manage your risk if you are attempting some long position. Sam has been providing some great technical analysis and some scalping scenarios here at this range. He's more talking about the levels where we can get those bounces. He's talking about the take profit zones. So yeah, if you want to join the community, guys, we got Sam also that is very much active, looking at the lower time frames every single day. There is a scenario that if we do break down below this low over here, so say we are breaking down this high volume node and we are going to test the lows right over here. Well, then of course there is a scenario that we might fail to break out from the lows created just a few weeks ago. Yes, it is possible. We could create that swing failure pattern from this low and then get a massive bounce. However, we are still very far away. It's over $1,000 drop from current levels. So we're just going to have to see if that level is going to be hit, by next week. I think the weekend will be quite boring, so we're not going to get that much volatility, but we'll be coming out with some updates to see if that is definitely possible. In the Legends trading community, of course, we do have, those levels marked up on what are the potential scenarios. In today's episode, I'm just talking about the possible support here for a possible long scenario, what I am looking for here, okay, to take that trading decision. Now, of course, they are shorting levels, but if we start pumping from this range, depending on the volume, it might skyrocket, okay, to test the highs here again. Of course, this is probably not going to happen here in the next coming hours, but this high is very, very interesting. We need a solid breakout above this high. If we fail to break out, of course, it is definitely, in my opinion, going to come down to test this low. So that might be a great swing opportunity. However, we break above this level over here successfully in the next coming days. Of course, this will be insanely bullish. As soon as we get above $30,400, okay, with high volume, I can already tell you that we are likely going to create a new yearly high. So there will be great trading opportunities on the way up here, all right, to test that new yearly high. This is the strongest resistance level. We get above this level, we're going to create a new yearly high, guys. Thank you very much for joining, and I'll see you in the next one.